Happy Friday, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. I am Nick Corso, and we'll get started right at noon. Noon my time, at least. How's it going, Dave? You guys can see him. He's VeeFriends Experience as well. We're both. I don't understand what he's saying, but he is going to be the moderator for today. His name is Dave. He's awesome. He does everything at VeeFriends. Does a little bit of everything. Partnerships, though, is his main thing. He can't unmute. Oh, well, yeah, I got to make you. There you go. Now you can. I had to make you co-host.
Oh man, that was an uncomfortable feeling. I'm not used to being silenced. Good to see you, Nick.
Good to see you as well. Yeah, no, I just forgot to do that co-host thing.
And I forgot to log out of VeeFriends Experiences, but it is all good. What's up, Jonathan? Glad you could join us today.
We getting started in 3 minutes. We got a really small group. Means we can get through it faster and you guys can ask as many questions as you want. So awesome. So we got 2 minutes. Let me make sure I have this pulled up. For anybody who's already here, I'm going to drop the blog post in the chat now. I'll drop it again. But this will have a little bit of everything. It'll have what we're going over, and you can find the schedule for the rest of the education series as well as the slides that we're going through.
Nick, something I did in my last session that I thought actually went really well in this like dead time before the official start. If anyone wants to raise their hand and just give like a 1 or 2 sentence question of what you're looking to get out of this session, that can help us lean into a specific part of the deck when we get to it. So if you have any questions while we're just kind of leading up to the start time, raise your hand and let's figure out, what you're looking to get out of here.
Yeah, I like that idea. If anyone has set up their MetaMask or know a little bit about NFTs, you could drop in the chat yes. If you don't, you could drop no, just to get a pulse of what everybody knows. And regardless, we'll go over how to create a MetaMask so you guys can get that set up. And yeah, complete beginner. Awesome. No, nothing but was referred. Same. Good. No bad habits. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, it is noon. I think we'll get started. So let me share my screen and I'll just walk through the blog post real quick and then we'll get started. Let me see. Screen number 1. Let me move this over here so you guys don't have to see yourself twice. Awesome. So this is a blog post that I linked in the chat. This, as I mentioned, has, 1 second, I'm trying to move the chat over here. Okay. This has all the information of what we're doing today, what we're covering. If you click here, this shows the schedule. So right now we are on Friday. It will be updated, I think, this weekend to show what we're doing next week. It'll also be posted on the socials. And then after the recording is posted, it'll be posted down here as well. And you'll be able to see it on our YouTube. And then if you click on this, this is the presentation that we'll be going over today. Not too many slides, but we will get started with this. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to have to restart the share screen so we can put on an audio. Share sound. And you guys can, which screen are you guys seeing? Are you seeing the right screen? You can see the,
Yep,
okay.
you're good to go, brother.
Okay, just making sure. Let me just do this. All right, awesome. So today we'll be going over how to buy your first NFT. And we'll get started with what is an NFT first, because that is a question that everybody has. So an NFT is a non-fungible token. That's what NFT stands for. And it's pretty much a unique digital asset that there's a variety of them with different utilities and different uses. Some are just digital pieces of art. Some have, like, for example, you might have seen it on the news in Tampa, maybe, a piece of real estate, someone's house sold for Ethereum. It's sold as an NFT for like $500,000. So that was a really cool step in the direction of the NFT space with real estate. Some are also collectibles, and then there's some used for games as well. And all of these are, you can prove that you own it on the blockchain. You could transfer it to people. Like I said before, they're unique. And yeah, you can prove that you own it, which is the coolest part about it. It's like a receipt saying like, hey, I own this. And in order to buy NFTs, you would need a crypto wallet. So a crypto wallet is basically a digital wallet. It has a secret phrase, which is kind of like your social security number or bank PIN. So you'll never want to share that. If you're not sharing your social security number, you shouldn't be sharing your secret phrase. You shouldn't be sharing either of those. So this secret phrase, I might call it seed phrase by accident. That's just the old name of it. So if I say seed phrase, I'm referring to the secret phrase. They recently changed the name. But yeah, that is something I'll say it probably 100 times. You'll never want to share that with anyone. If someone asks you for it, you should stop talking to that person. And with crypto wallets, there are two different types. There's the software wallets and the hardware wallets. The software wallets we typically call hot wallets, and then hardware wallets we call cold wallets. And we'll go over what both of those are. So software wallets are pretty much any wallet that's connected directly to the internet. The most popular example, the one that we will show you how to create, is a Metamask. Coinbase also does have a software wallet function now. It is an exchange, but it does have a software wallet feature. There's Wallet Connect, Rainbow, and Trust Wallet. If you want to use any of the other ones, you can definitely do some research on them and see what best fits you. But MetaMask is the most used and probably the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Compatible. The most compatible with pretty much any NFT site. And then popular hardware wallets would be the Ledger and the Trezor. So a hardware wallet is basically like a USB device that doesn't, like, you would have to manually connect it to the internet, and it stores the key inside of it. And basically it's like a higher level protection is what I use for like Dave's showing what it looks like. So that's what it looks like. Just a little USB. There is one that's a Ledger. So there is one that is Bluetooth, and then there's one that you connect with a USB. I use the one that connects with USB. But yeah, basically it's like I use it as like a storage for my, I mean, I consider all my NFTs valuable, but the ones that, are more valuable price wise is what I put in the Ledger, because it's the more secure one. That's where you'd want to store that kind of stuff. And then to figure out what device you want to use. So desktop is definitely the easiest to navigate, and it has more security. Yeah, what Dave just said in the chat, NFTs are not stored on the hardware wallet, but the device enables you access to the wallet that holds your assets. Good call out. Yeah. So desktop is easier to navigate, and it has more security. Most most websites and everything is just a better user experience when it comes to NFTs on the desktop. And then the phone is compatible, but and it's more convenient as well, but it might be a little harder to navigate through things. But both are compatible. We'd recommend a desktop or a laptop just because it's the easiest and the more secure device. So now we will go over how to set up your MetaMask wallet. You can go through this with us if you want and set it up with us, or you can go back and watch it after. If Dave might be able to link the education series for you guys, and you guys can watch that at another time on YouTube as well. But here's this. Let me know if you can hear it in the chat, and let me know if it looks good. Actually, this is what I'll do. We'll watch an ad real quick.
Today we're gonna learn
Okay, now we can watch it, and let me know if you can hear it. If you can't, please let me know. You can hear? Okay. If you can hear that, if you heard that ad that I always get, you can. Okay, good.
download and add the MetaMask wallet extension to our Google Chrome browser. We're going to use MetaMask because it's the most widely used wallet. There's other wallets available, but for our demonstration purposes, MetaMask is what we chose. So the first thing we're going to do is go to metamask.io, which is the website that you can download the extension. Always double check the URL whenever you're downloading or connecting your wallet to any site. We're very early into Web 3.0, and one of the exploits that people use is creating a site that looks almost identical to a site that you're trying to go to, and then being able to exploit you that way. So make sure it's the correct URL, the correct .io, not .com or .org in circumstances. So we're at metamask.io, which is proper. And we're going to go to the top right, and we're going to hit download. You can see the supported browsers: Chrome, Firefox, Brave, and Edge. We're going with the most user-friendly in my experience, which is going to be Chrome. You can see that on the top, it is already prompted us to use Chrome. There's a tab for iOS and Android, but once again, we're going to go with the easiest, which is going to be Chrome on our desktop. They do have mobile, but it is it's less buggy, and it's a much easier experience with desktop and Chrome. So that's what we're suggesting here. So it's going to say install MetaMask for Chrome. And it's going to bring us to the Chrome Web Store. And we want to add to Chrome. And we want to make sure it's the correct one, which it is. And you'll see a video on the bottom from the MetaMask team, and we always suggest getting as much information as possible. And add the extension. So we can navigate away from the Chrome store, see the extensions tab, and we want to actually add it to the top bar. So we'll click that and then pin it. And now you can see the cute little fox on the top right there. So once we click there, we want to open up the MetaMask site, and you'll be able to see that we go to MetaMask and that we can get started. But first, check out that the fox will follow our mouse. So get started. And here you have two options. We're going to use yes, let's get set up. That's for someone with no wallet or anything like that. The other option, no, I already have a secret recovery phrase, is if you've already set up a wallet, which for our purposes, you have not. So let's get set up. Help us improve MetaMask. I would read through this, do your own research. It's not going to be giving your information, exposing you in any way. So I clicked agree, but check it out and read it yourself. We'll create a password. And with this password, I want you to write it down on a piece of paper. I don't like to keep my passwords or recovery phrase on my computer. We'll get to that in the security section, but let's click that and move forward. So now that we have this password, we're we're going to go to secure your wallet here. So let's take a little bit of time to talk about what a secret recovery phrase is. It's a 12-word phrase that is your master key to your wallet and your funds. So I can't stress how important the secret recovery phrase is. Everyone wants it. Every scammer is going to be trying to get it. You might hear seed phrase. It was called seed phrase before secret recovery phrase, but it's basically the same terminology. So you're going to be writing this down on a piece of paper, not keeping it on your computer because it can get exploited. And I'd write it on a couple of pieces of paper and put it in a couple of different places. And then you would want to watch this video and read the information on this little tab. But I want to stress how important it is. It's your bank information. It's your social security number. It's if they have access to your wallet and your seed recovery phrase, they have access to everything in your wallet and all your NFTs, all your funds, and hopefully all your NFTs are going to be valuable and precious to you. So we want to make sure that you're as safe as possible. And let's hit next. So secret recovery phrase, once we click here, for our purposes, we'll show it because this is just kind of a test. But once we click this, it shows you the 12 words, the holy grail of your password. So make sure you write this down on a piece of paper a couple of times exactly in the order that it is. If you lose this, you lose everything. And if you give this up, you give up everything. So I'm hoping that I am stressing this enough for you. We want to write this stuff down. We're going to need that. But some tips on the right. Store this phrase in a password manager. Like I would not do that. Write this on a piece of paper. I would do that. Memorize this phrase. I have people that memorize it. Just be careful. If you memorize it, you might be quick to use it. So you always you want your brain to always know if someone asks for that, you want everything to come to a screeching halt. But here, let's confirm that exactly how we saw it on the page before. And I'll take this time to continually stress how important the secret recovery phrase is. So, always make sure that you're keeping it safe, please. We will talk about it in security, but pretty much no one will ever ask you for your secret recovery phrase. A website will not ask you. So if any website does, even if it's Firefox, there's potentially an exploit there. Everything should come to a complete halt in your mind, and you want to reset and make sure everything is safe. Never give it up. So congratulations. You've downloaded and added the extension to Google Chrome. You've done it. You now have a wallet, and we're very, very proud. So read through all the information, and we want to click I'm done here, and then we'll go check out the wallet a little bit. So it's just saying what's new. They're talking a little bit about where transactions are easier to read. But in your wallet, you're basically going to be looking at your options here: buy, send, swap. Those are all going to be kind of third-party, things. But the most important, I would say, is under account 1 is going to be your public wallet address, which you're going to be giving that to people that you want to send money to, or if they want to send you something. It's not a secret or anything like that. You can give that out pretty regularly, and it's not a problem. But let's go to buy. You can deposit ETH through here. Like I said, these are third-party apps, so we'll go over that a little bit. But send, you would put in, if you wanted to send money to somebody like me, you could put my wallet address in there. And then if you want to swap ETH for a different token, you can as well there. So those are basically the pretty standard options for your wallet. On the bottom there, it says assets and activity. So assets, when you get something, you'll see it. And then activity, it'll show you that as well. We'll go over that more a little bit later. And then you can see, you can create a new wallet. You can set up your hardware wallet. And there's different networks. All things we'll go over. but I do want to stress how lovely it's been setting up the wallet with you.
Forgot I was muted. All right. So that was how you set up your wallet. Like he stressed, like I'm going to stress, never share that secret phrase. Definitely keep it somewhere safe. If you wrote it multiple times, put it, you could put it in a safe, just put it somewhere where nobody's going to easily find it and somewhere where you'll know where it is. It's going to play again.
Today we're going to learn.
Let's go to the next slide. So now how to buy ETH. So on that video, it did show some third-party options through MetaMask. But the one that is used most, I believe it's used most, and the one that I'm pretty sure the whole team uses is Coinbase. So Coinbase is an awesome exchange where you could buy and sell your Ethereum, and Binance, Gemini, and PayPal are also other options. We're going to focus on Coinbase, but if you'd like to use the other ones, you could definitely look into them. Binance, for example, might work better in certain countries compared to Coinbase, but we will go over Coinbase. So now we're not going to watch the whole video, but I'll kind of skip through it a little bit. So right here, you'll first have to sign up, create your account, and this is on coinbase.com. And you don't have to do this right now because we're going to just fly through this real quick. So when you're setting up your account, you'll need to put your first and last name, password, your state, and then you'll have to verify your phone number for two-step authentication, and then verify how much crypto you plan on buying, what industry you work in, kind of fill out a whole bunch of questions. And then once you do that, it'll show you what kind of account limits you have. And these account limits are kind of created based on like what you've verified. So if you verify your phone number, you unlock level 1, you verify your personal information, that's level 2. And then if you verify with a photo ID, that'll get you level 3, which then you can send and receive cryptocurrencies. And then over here on the right are the limits, the either daily or weekly limits on how much money you can deposit and, PayPal purchases, that kind of stuff. Oh, I made it do that. Let's go. I think there's one more part in here. Yeah, right here. So this is like a nice table. We'll show it in like a couple slides. I think we'll show it again. This kind of shows what the speed is like of buying or selling crypto. So you could see with bank accounts, this would be best for large and small investments. So you can buy, sell, add cash, and cash out all with a bank account, but it takes 3 to 5 days. And then something like PayPal, you can buy, but you can't sell, and you can add cash or cash out instantly. So depending on what your time frame is, sometimes in the NFT space, you might need to get money quick for maybe a drop that's happening. You may want to go to one of the more instant paths, but just remember there are limits, and there's different time frames of when it'll actually get put into your account or taken out. Here is how to add Ethereum to your crypto wallet. So this is from Coinbase as well. So right here, he'll start by clicking buy and sell, or buy/sell. And he's going to buy $250 in Ethereum right here. I think it types it right here. And then you'll have to change this down here to Ethereum. I think it starts with Bitcoin. And then your payment method would go down here. And then right here, it does show how much Ethereum. No slides are being displayed? Are they being displayed, or?
I can see the video. I think
Okay.
it's possible. Yeah, I think everyone.
Okay. I was about to say, oh my God, that's not good.
No, that would have been a big problem. Adonis. I don't know what to see. Yeah, thank you, Caesar. Adonis, maybe you have 2 monitors open or the screen is minimized, but I think this might be a user error situation.
Okay. I'm glad it's not everyone.
No, you're good. You're
But-
good, Nick. I
Okay,
got you.
I'll continue and
I would have let you know, buddy.
I assume so. I assumed everybody would let me know. All right. So this is showing how much at the time of this video. I think Ethereum's a different price right now. But at the time of this video, $250 is 0.0766 ETH. And then it does take a Coinbase fee. This Coinbase fee is just Coinbase. It's their exchange fee to purchase. So right here, it's going to show you how much you will actually get. And then once he buys it, you can see it updates into his wallet and he'll click on send and receive. And then right here, he opens up. So when you get MetaMask, it shows the little extension at the top right. It'll show the little fox. He clicked on that, and then he's going to click right here to copy his public wallet address for his MetaMask. So he'll click that, and then he'll paste it. So he'll click send and receive. He'll type the amount. He clicked send all Ethereum. And then right here where it says 2, he pastes the wallet address, and then he'll double check right here that the first 5 match up with the first 5 here. And then the last 4 match up with the last 4 here. And it's something you always want to double check, because if you do send it to the wrong wallet, like if it's just 1 digit off, the money's gone, unless you happen to know the person who has nearly an identical wallet address as you, which I don't think will ever happen, unfortunately. But so you definitely want to double check, because once it's sent, and it can't be reversed. So make sure you double check before you send anything. And I think that's it for this video. Oh, well, right here. So right here, you can see Coinbase fee again. It doesn't have a fee for when you're sending it out, but it does have a network fee. And this network fee is often referred to as a gas fee. And it's pretty much like it's kind of like the Coinbase fee. You're always going to have to pay it. And as far as we know, on the Ethereum blockchain, you'll always have to pay a gas fee or a network fee, which changes a lot. But when you're just sending or receiving crypto, or if you're just sending crypto, usually doesn't cost too much. So as you can see here, it's, I think, costing $11. Sometimes it costs $100. It wouldn't cost $100 to send Ethereum, but like if you're buying an NFT, for example, it could be a little more expensive. And then I think that's it. I think he just sends it. He gets his 2-step authenticator, and then it populates in his MetaMask. Let me just make sure we didn't miss one. Okay, so this is that table again. So each exchange does have their own, transaction limit, and they have different time frames, especially depending on the state or the country. Some countries might not even allow MetaMask, or I think a state doesn't. I forget which state it is, or maybe it's Coinbase. But so yeah, definitely there's different limits depending on where you are and what you're buying or selling through. And you'll always want to do your research. You'll see DYOR a lot. That's do your own research. You'll always want to do that before buying any NFT, but especially when you're buying your Ethereum, you want to make sure you're going to get it in a timely manner if you do want to use it within a day or two. Now we'll go over how to buy an NFT. So this is OpenSea. OpenSea is like the eBay of NFTs. There are other competitors, out there trying to be the better OpenSea, but I think OpenSea is still the most used one to this day. But I'll type it in the chat. You guys can look at it on your own time. You don't have to connect your wallet or anything. You could just search it. So right here, there's a search button, and you can just search whatever you want. He clicked on, I believe, stats, and it shows like what the top projects are in the last 30 days, and you can change that right here. And you can connect your wallet. You don't have to do this when you're just looking at OpenSea, but he shows you how to connect your wallet. So you'll click this little person. See if we can. Okay, he clicked the thing all around the right. He clicked MetaMask, and then it pops up the MetaMask window. He makes sure it shows the right wallet. He clicks next, and then he clicks connect, and that'll connect you to the website. And then he kind of just walks through himself buying an NFT. So he goes to this project. He clicks on one of he sorted it by low to high. You can sort it by a whole bunch of things, but low to high kind of shows you what the cheapest ones are. So he found one right here that he wants, and he's going to click buy. And then you'll see, okay, he's showing how to make an offer. I think he buys it right here. And then you can see here, it has an estimated gas fee. It's very small, but it has an estimated gas fee of $100. So the gas that day was pretty high. Recently, gas has been it's been a lot calmer. It's been a lot less lately, but it was $100 at the time. And the NFT that he was buying was $100 as well. So it pretty much costed the NFT. So it's like he's buying 2 NFTs for the price of one, or 1 NFT for the price of 2. So gas fees can definitely hurt depending on the time of day. Sometimes, later at night is when gas fees are calmer. And then he buys it, and you can view it in your collection. You can hover over your picture and click my profile. I don't think he does that just because he's on the page, but you can hover over your picture and click my profile, and you can see all the NFTs you own. And okay, this explains it. I forgot this slide was here. This tells you how to view your NFT. So the NFT is stored on the blockchain. So your wallet is kind of like the key that allows you to view it. So OpenSea was a platform I was just mentioning. So you can either search your wallet address in OpenSea without connecting, and then you can click on your account, or you can just connect your wallet to it and then hover over your picture like I explained and click the My Profile button. But there's also an app called Rainbow Wallet where you can also just paste in your wallet address, and you can save it on the Rainbow Wallet, and it just displays your NFTs. You don't have to connect it to you don't have to connect it to the Rainbow Wallet or anything. And it's pretty cool. Like it shows the NFTs pretty well, and you don't have to pay for it or anything. Now, how to set up your hardware wallet. This video is really long, but this is something you should definitely do because, if you're buying any NFT as an investment, it should be valuable to you. And I store all my valuables in a ledger. So this video shows how to set up a Ledger Nano X or S, which is, there's 2 different types. The S is the one that I have where I have to connect a USB to it and plug it into my computer. And then there's also the Nano X, which is a Bluetooth. The X is more expensive. I like the S, which is the USB one. But my colleague does a great job in this video explaining that. Let me just make sure. Okay. Now we just want to harp on the scams. So we talked about, don't share your seed phrase. There are a lot of scammers out there who will try anything they can to get your seed phrase, whether you have anything in your wallet or not. They'll still try to get it for whatever reason. So we always try our best to post on socials and to post in the Discord anytime there's a new scam, because most of the time, if someone randomly messages you, it's a scam. We could probably say all the time, and then, maybe once or twice in 1,000 messages will be legit people. That percent is more accurate. 99.99999%. That's a pretty accurate number. So here are some examples of the scams, and they're all too good to be true. So right here was an email sent, and it says time for series 2 VeeFriends today. There's a typo right here. It's time. Series 2 new characters, and they say reply with your MetaMask wallet address, and then after that they'll send you a link to the website to mint your NFT. And series 2 hasn't been announced. The date hasn't been announced for it yet. So that's right off the bat, that should be the red flag. And we would never send emails about anything like that. We send emails to token holders who have access, and we're emailing them about their access. That's typically the only time we email anyone. And here's another one saying you want a VeeFriend, claim below, connect your wallet, and they try to get you to type in your seed phrase. Here's a fake Gary V that it happens a lot. They'll comment under actual Gary V's posts with these links to mint something. And then there's fake Instagram accounts as well. All our socials accounts are at VeeFriends. So if it's not at VeeFriends, it's not us. And then here's a more recent one that was sent recently. It's time to buy VeeFriends mini drop, which we'll touch on a little bit towards the end. But it says reply yes to this email to get on the whitelist. Whitelist is we call it allow list now. For VeeFriends, we call it friends list. But pretty much it's like a pre-sale. So if you have allow lists or whitelist or friends pass, you have the pre-sale access. So if you hear whitelist or allow list, that's what it's referring to, kind of like a pre-sale spot. And just to show like kind of like the transparency of what Gary owns and if he's buying something or not, this blog post, can I click on it? There we go. This blog post kind of touches on what he owns and what he doesn't own. So recently there's been a lot of scams out there where they either send NFTs to Gary's wallet or they make it look like he bought them through the blockchain, and people will watch Gary's wallet and buy what he's buying. So it shows that he minted, which we'll talk about what minting is, but basically like you buy it. So we'll go over minting in a bit. But they will say that he's buying these NFTs and people are like looking at it and they're like, oh, Gary bought this, I'm gonna buy it. And there's also fake ads like this backed by Gary V. And it's like an ad on like YouTube, for example, or an ad on Instagram. And like they also say CR7, Cristiano Ronaldo. I've never heard him mention an NFT. So that's another red flag. But NFTs he actually owns, he has his NFTs, his wallets linked right here. And these are his only 2 wallets. And like I said, it does show, like you can see right here, these are all the stuff people sending or minting stuff to his wallet. Just hundreds a day. So yeah, that's just I'll link this here if you guys want to take a look at that. But a lot of people just try to, make it look like Gary's backing a project in order to benefit themselves. Kind of like what Gary says a lot, Google is your mother. If you guys watch Gary for a while, he always says Google is your mother. Google is like a huge help with NFTs. I think Twitter is as well, but Google, you can Google anything. You can Google what crypto is, what the blockchain is, to kind of understand everything better. Like altcoins, NFTs, what is mining, who created Bitcoin, all these kind of questions. And you can ask a ton too. And you can also ask them at the end as well if you have any questions. But yeah, Google is a great place to ask, to search for answers, to know what is and isn't accurate. There's not too much misinformation on this kind of stuff as of now. But I mean, eventually there will be. That's just how everything is. But you'll find pretty straightforward answers on all these questions. And Twitter kind of is a cool spot as well. So now we'll go over the key terms. We'll go over minting now too. So the wallet address is kind of like it links you to your wallet, to your spot on the blockchain. So as it states here, you can think of it as about the blockchain as a GPS and your cryptocurrency address as its targeted mailing address. So the wallet address, I like to think of it as like a shortcut to your wallet. Probably not the best way to word it, but that's just how I do it. But yeah, gas. Here's a link here. I'll link this PowerPoint at the end. But this wallet address is like your bank account number. That's a better way to connect it. So gas, like I mentioned before, it's always changing. This is a real-time tracker of gas. And it's like, you have to pay this fee every time, unfortunately, unless, Ethereum changes. But that's something in the future. That's not something that's going to happen anytime soon, I don't think. But it's also like a miner fee is what you can call it, because basically you're paying the miners to, do the transaction for you. And the more you pay, like the higher of a fee you pay, the faster the transaction is. And the lower the fee is, the slower the transaction goes. So minting, we have it stated as verifying new transactions on the blockchain. So you'll hear the term minting when you're buying a new project that, you know, right off the bat, like during its drop, during its release, it's called minting. So back in, was it May last year? May 11th was when VeeFriends dropped, and you could mint them on a Dutch auction. So you could buy it at whatever price. If it's sold before then you miss it. You have to go to another one. But when you buy it for that first time, it mints, and it mints it onto the blockchain, and then it goes into your wallet. So minting, you'll hear that term a lot, but it's pretty much like the initial buy-in of the NFT. The secret phrase, like we mentioned, is a secret recovery phrase. I just, okay, whatever. It's like your social security number, or a bank PIN in Web3. So never share it with anyone. You'll never have to type it on a website. The only time you ever have to type it is when you're creating your MetaMask, or if you're signing into a new browser with it, or a new device. But typically you want to try to stay to just one device, and you'll only have to ever type it once. NFTs are and slash tokens. So I like to call NFTs just tokens because they're non-fungible tokens, but they can be both used to describe the NFTs you own. And then sign in, kind of like if you remember from that video when I was showing the OpenSea, he had to sign his wallet in order to connect himself to the website. So you'd have to sign in order to do that. It's like when you're at the register and you have to sign at, like, after you're done paying with your credit card, you have to sign in order to approve the transaction or the purchase. Here's kind of an index of where we got where we have all the information of what NFTs are, OpenSea guide, all this stuff. And what we will do is go over what the VeeFriends collection is. So series 1 consists of 10,255 VeeFriends with 268 original characters that Gary drew by hand. This launched on May 11th last year via Dutch auction. And this is kind of like the VeeFriend, like this is the OG VeeFriends. You might have been hearing about VeeFriends book games or series 2. We will touch on that shortly. One thing I just want to touch on with series 1 is that this gives you exclusive access to VeeCon, which is a 3-year super conference that Gary's hosting. So you'll get airdropped a ticket to it each year for each VeeCon, which is kind of like the main utility, but Gary's also trying to build out every single character. Now we'll touch on mini drops just a little bit. It's not too, it's important, but not that you need to know of now, because we'll go more book games, and series 2 is right around the corner. But mini drops, we did an exclusive drop for certain VeeFriends 1 holders. If they held like a character that has like there's a character called Jolly Jacko. So it's like a jack-o'-lantern head. So 31 VeeFriends got airdropped 1 of 1 pieces, and then gift goats, which is a VeeFriend character, VeeFriend series 1, they get dropped an NFT every time they get a gift. For book games, so Gary on August 27th, he did this live stream, and nobody knew what it was for. Nobody knew it was for his book, but he said, for every 12 books you order, you will get 1 NFT in return. I don't know if it was even stated that you would get an NFT. It might have been. I think they said a special gift, which I think everybody assumed was an NFT. And not maybe like a month and a half ago is when the book games tokens were actually, you were able to claim them. And now these are used to, you can burn these book games tokens for a different NFT. You can burn it for physical, like basketball cards, for example, like a PSA 10 LeBron, those kind of collectibles. So it's a pretty cool marketplace that we have for that. And then book games tokens are also a friends pass, or can get you friends pass. And we will be hearing more about that shortly. I believe Gary said sometime today in the Discord. So So we'll have more information on what's required, maybe about the Friends Pass. But Friends Pass is basically going to be a raffles. So if you own a Book Games token, you have a chance of getting the Friends Pass, and that Friends Pass gives you a 12 and a half day advantage to mint a VeeFriends Series 2 ahead of the public mint. So that is like that pre-sale that I was talking about. And there will also be 15 new characters introduced to Series 2. And then the last thing is book games are played forever. And then Series 2, we don't know everything yet. More information is dropping every day. It seems like Gary's always hinting towards things in the Discord. But Series 2 is the next series for VeeFriends, and it will be priced just under $1,000 in $1,000 USD, but it'll be in Ethereum. So whatever the price of Ethereum is at the time is how we will price it in ETH, if that makes sense. It'll be priced right around the $1,000 mark, right below the $1,000 mark. And there is no set date yet, but spring 2022. I think Gary's mentioned April a lot in the Discord. So yeah, we'll definitely hear more about that on the socials and in the Discord. And I believe that is it. So that is it with the presentation. I'll link the Discord for you guys as well, and all our socials. You can tag us on socials if you like this. And now we can open the floor to a Q&A. I'll stop sharing my screen. Just exit out of that. Cool. So now, does anyone have any questions? You can raise your hand. You can ask it in the chat. See Jonathan, I'll unmute you.
You used a term that wasn't in your glossary. You can burn a token. What does that
right.
mean?
Okay, so burning is kind of like deleting in a sense. So when it's burned, we use that term. So like, for example, you'll exchange, let's say, one book game token for a Devin Booker rookie card, PSA 10. So when we say burn, there's on the, this is, book games are on the layer 2 of Ethereum mainnet. So to kind of explain that, it's just like a API on top of Ethereum. We have more resources on what layer 2 is and everything, but when it comes to burning on layer 2, they basically delete the NFT off the blockchain. It sends it to like an address where it's nowhere. So it basically, once you send it there, no one has access to it. It's gone. It's impossible to access it. Did I answer that well? Do you have any other questions? I might have to unmute you again. That's weird. Let me find you on the participant list. 1 second. Where are you? There you go. Sorry.
Yeah, it was just one follow-up because you used several other terms then that I wasn't familiar with, like second layer stuff. Is that important to know about, or is that like not really so important right now?
So with book games, it is important. I think, let me see here. Here's an article on what Immutable X is and what layer 2 is. I'll post it in the chat. This just kind of gives you an understanding of how it works, how book games works. So this explains what layer 2 is, Immutable X, which is the layer 2, and what the difference is between them all and stuff. So this article has pretty much everything you need to know about that.
All right, thanks.
No problem. Adam, I'm going to unmute you.
Sounds good. Really appreciate the overview today. Thanks so much for all the insight. Do my best to learn as we go here. Had a question. I had started an account via Coinbase a couple weeks ago. So my goal is just to maybe look to purchase my first NFT and then maybe go from there. But then you mentioned Metamask. So do I need both of those to purchase my first NFT?
So Metamask is probably what you'd want to purchase NFTs. It's the most compatible with like pretty much every website that has NFTs. Like It's the most compatible. I like to think of Coinbase can be used to buy NFTs now. It's newer, but I like to think of Coinbase still as an exchange. So that's where I would purchase and sell my Ethereum, and then I would transfer that to MetaMask in order to buy.
Okay, yeah, so that's where I was hung up. So I can purchase the Ethereum via Coinbase and then transfer that over to MetaMask and then purchase via OpenSea with my MetaMask account. Is that right?
Correct. And it doesn't have to be just OpenSea, of course.
Yeah.
If you want to mint an NFT, it would be through their website, or there's other marketplaces like Rareable. I think what's the new one? Looks Rare is another one. So
Okay,
there's multiple
I'm gonna
marketplaces out there.
I'm gonna write down the steps that I just mentioned here so I don't forget. So Coinbase to MetaMask to OpenSea. Got it. Appreciate it.
No problem. Any other questions?
Not for me right now. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Does anyone else have any questions? You can raise your hand or type it in the chat. Any comments? Rosie? I'll unmute you. There you go. I think I asked. I can't hear you.
Rosie, you should be able on the bottom. There you go.
Oh, there you go. She's got it.
Yeah, my concern is, do you think the blockchain will one day become like a regular bank? Like, for example, a couple of days ago, I sent money to a friend and it went to a wrong account. I asked my friends if they received it. They don't see it. I didn't worry about. I just contact the bank and the bank say, we got you covered. I don't have to worry about. How is it that the blockchain cannot do that? If
So the
you
block.
send, if
Go
you
ahead.
send it to the wrong address, they don't. We lose it, right?
Yeah. So it's a cool thing about the blockchain, but it's not. So the cool thing about the blockchain is it's decentralized. So nobody has control over it. So there can't be someone controlling it. But with that comes the downside of if you accidentally send it to the wrong wallet address, it's just gone. One thing with MetaMask is you can actually add little contacts, and you can, put a name with a wallet address and save it into your account. So like you could just type in, like I could type in my colleague Dave, I could type in Dave and have his wallet address, and then I can just search him and see his wallet address, and it's like already saved there. But yeah, so they can't really track it or get it back just because it's decentralized. So there's nobody in charge of it.
Do you think it is because we are early on the Web3, or it's because always it's going to be that way?
I think it'll always be that way. Just because that was always the purpose behind like crypto in general, is that nobody has charge, like nobody is in charge of it. We, like, the people get to do everything. So I don't think that'll ever be a thing. I mean, it could. I don't know how it would really work. But there would definitely have to be like some outside force doing that. It wouldn't be something that, the creators of Ethereum would do, for example.
I'm hoping they come up with that feature, right?
It definitely would save money, because I've definitely sent Ethereum to the wrong wallet before too, and I've had friends try to send it to me. Because just to
No?
touch on so there's this thing called an ENS address, and that's like a .eth address. So that's a shortcut to your wallet address. So instead of typing OX whatever, mine, for example, is Corso5.eth, and someone else owns Corso.eth, and everybody calls me Corso. And so someone sent it to Corso.eth, not Corso5.eth. So they sent it to the wrong person, and they found the person on Twitter. I don't know if they ever got the money back, but just how the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Well, thank you. You answered my concern.
No problem. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
Any other questions or stuff you guys want me to touch on a little bit? We got another 10 minutes or so. If you guys have any questions, always feel free to ask them. No question is stupid. Jonathan?
So for the person who is literally just trying to learn this, I saw you had a list of links to different stuff. If you were going to kind of put them in order to like craft beginner NFTs 101, besides just me rewatching this video, which I'll have to do about 3 times, what order would you put them in for a person to come along as logically as they could?
Yeah. So are you talking about the index I showed at the end, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay. So a couple of them are the same videos. One is posted on Gary Vee's account or on Gary Vee's website, and some are posted on 137. 137, Dave can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe 137 is like a media branch of Vayner. That's correct. Okay. So they both have articles on it. You could search. So like for the first one, it says, what is NFTs? So they both have articles on it. You only need to check one. But I think the order is just, you can start from the top and go down. It has a collection breakdown that we went over that kind of shows what VeeFriends collection is. It shows how to buy your NFT at the end. And it kind of, this kind of just shows the order we went through. So it shows 137 has a great article that has more terms that we didn't touch on. So that's also a great one that you can check as well. But yeah, I think just top to bottom looks like the best order.
Right on. I appreciate it.
No problem. Adam,
Perfect. Thank you. So my first step will be to do more research and purchase my first NFT and then take it from there. But somewhere down the road, as far as maybe creating an NFT or someone in my network doing that, a question I have, like relating it back to sports cards, like if I have, say, a PSA graded card, can I turn that into an NFT, or does the manufacturer of that particular card, is that more their rights to that picture?
Yeah, so that's a great question, because I've actually thought about doing something like that too.
Yeah.
Just because, I'm not a huge card collector. That's something I've always wanted to get more into, but then NFTs came. But pretty much, I don't know if you'd actually be able to, have the card itself, like the picture of it, as the NFT, but you could have like your own art made, and in the contract of the NFT, which kind of every NFT is on a smart contract. So in that contract, they could show for that specific NFT, it's a PSA 10 LeBron James rookie tops, something like that. Dave is raising his hand. You can touch.
So, and I wanted to interject because there's a collection that illegally used the name and likeness of many soccer players, proper football players. And it's kind of generated a little buzz lately because one of those players' attorneys, he's based out of Brazil, sent a letter that was a cease and desist. Please stop using this individual's name and likeness. So I think when you start using people's name and likeness, it starts to get into a gray area, because technically NFTs and crypto are anonymous, but if it is connected to you, it just feels like a difficult place to be if you don't have the rights to that person's name and likeness or that brand's name and likeness, especially if you're making money off of it.
Yeah. Okay.
So I know with VeeFriends, people have been printing our characters on like their own hoodies and stuff. But if people started selling that, we would have to pursue it because we own that IP. So I would just be really thoughtful about that. And I certainly wouldn't try to make money off of something that you don't own the IP rights to.
That sounds good. And also, I attend a lot of different events here and there, take some pictures. So, and I know that Gary's big on some of like different artwork via, still shots and photos from there. So that's something I could potentially turn into an NFT as an original picture that I take, correct?
Correct. Yeah. There's a lot of really cool art, like not art, like pictures that I've seen on OpenSea that, some go for a lot. Some, you have to, advertise it properly on like Twitter or,
Yeah. I'd say the same laws apply to if you were to try to sell that photo to a museum. It's the same thing. Like if you took a photo of somebody and you could get in trouble for it, selling it or making money off
Okay.
of it in the real world, you can get in trouble for it potentially in the digital world as well. It's the same
Yeah.
thing.
Got it. All right. I'll do a little more research, but appreciate the feedback from both of you. Thanks so much.
No problem. Someone, Rob asked in the chat, can you give an example of real cash purchases? Ethereum, I assume that means Ethereum, which purchases NFTs that then is sold / transferred back in actual money. Once you put real cash into Ethereum and purchase an NFT, say you sell that, do you ever see actual cash? So you would have, once you sell the NFT, you would receive your Ethereum. I'm saying exactly how Dave said it because he said it right. And then you'd send your Ethereum to Coinbase or whatever exchange you use, and then you could swap that for USD. So you can get that money back in your bank account. It's just like a little process in order to do so. You'd have to send it to Coinbase and then sell that. And then there are taxes on everything, unfortunately. So that's always something you want to take into account as well. But great question. Any other last minute questions? We got 4 minutes. So if you think of anything, you guys can ask, or we could wrap up early, whatever works. Oh yeah, right. Unless you live in a place where they don't have capital gains tax.
Corso, in that vein, touch on OpenSea and royalty fees real quickly, because just because you sell something for 100 ETH doesn't mean you're getting 100 ETH.
Correct. Yeah. So certain collections on OpenSea. So OpenSea has their own like 2.5% royalty that they get, or I guess it's like a fee every time you sell or buy something. They get 2.5% of that. And then collections can have their own royalty. So for example, VeeFriends gets 10% royalties. 1% of that goes to charity, and then 9% of it goes to VeeFriends. So every project has their own royalties, and pretty much on all the other, marketplaces out there, the royalty is the same. They can edit that. You could change it on the website itself through the collection. So pretty much once you sell something, every time it sells again, you make a little bit of money. So if like you're an artist, for example, if you sell, like Adam was saying, if he sells a picture of something that he took, like he took a really nice picture, he sells for 1 ETH, and he has 10% royalties on it. He would get 0.1%. This is if it's a secondary. If he sells it for 1 ETH, he gets the full 1 ETH. And then if it sells on the secondary from that buyer to another buyer, then he gets 10% of that, if that's what the royalty he has on it. So royalties pretty much help the artists, help the creators. They make money off every single secondary transaction. Jonathan?
Yeah, hopefully I haven't picked one that takes too long to answer to end on. So I know how to pick a bank. I know to look for what kind of fees and what kind of services. You introduced us to Metamask and Coinbase, but if we're picking a wallet and an exchange, what kind of things do we look for? Let's say maybe one day Metamask isn't available or something. What should we be paying attention for as we pick exchanges and wallets?
It's a great question. I personally don't know the best answer for this, but I think one thing that you'd want to look for is the fact, like, what kind of rates are they taking, or what kind of exchange fees do they have? So every time you buy Ethereum, if they're making you pay an extra 10%, that's like I don't really like that. And then I think, their not status, but like their reputation, like how known are they? How used are, like, how often is their platform used? Have they had any issues with customers where they just, someone had an issue and they didn't help them, or, yeah, I don't know the best answer to that, but those are a few things that I would look out for. Luckily, we haven't had to have a thing where, okay, we got to switch platforms now. Like we've never had to switch away from MetaMask. So I guess it's something that I guess we'd all experience together if that happens. But yeah, it kind of answers it, but I don't know the best answer for it.
It sounds like the answer is too early to tell.
Yeah, too early to tell.
Fair enough.
And then also, I guess, location too. Like Binance works, I think, better than Coinbase in Canada, for example. So location does play a role in that as well. See a question in chat. Is there a difference in royalties on basis of quantity purchased? So every time one is purchased, the royalty is taken from that purchase. But every project has different royalties. So one project might have 10%, one might not have any. If the project doesn't have any, that's kind of hurts them, if anything. But yeah, it just varies on the project. Yeah. Any other questions? It's 1 p.m., but anybody else has another question you can ask. What I'll also do is drop my email in the chat. So if you guys ever have any questions, you can always email me. And then if you are not in the Discord, you can join. If you want to learn more about Discord, you can also email me. I can walk you through everything. And that's the link to the Discord. But if there aren't any other questions, you guys have we'll wrap up. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Always feel free to ask me questions. If you have them via email, this is probably the best, or Twitter. If you're on Twitter, it's at Corso52. But yeah, if there's no other questions, I think we'll close it up here. Thank you everyone for joining us on this beautiful Friday. You guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you for taking the time to be here and learning.
Good job.
And thank you. And like I said, if you ever have any questions, please feel free to ask. Especially if you join the Discord too, you can ask in the Discord. Everybody's very friendly. But you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you around. Take care, everyone.